let's go ahead and share my screen. Let's not make that mistake. All right.
I
So
don't know why not. I make it all the time.
that's my style. All right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about maybe some issues that you guys were having. I've seen just a couple of things, so I'm going to talk about some maybe things that we've gone over, but I just wanted to reiterate. But if there's anything that anybody would like to look at, any questions that they've come up with, I think now would be a good time. Has anybody had any issues with anything in particular with their field notes lately, whether if it's action plans, whether if it's emails, sending text messages?
I have a question on the action plans. I think I can't remember if you answered this for me,
Hmm.
but if I already had sent, say, 5 people a drip campaign before I set up the triggers, to
Mhm.
that we talked about. If I go in and change those in the fields that we talked about, the sales cycle and that, and it would trigger an action plan, are they going to get
Action plans?
two action plans?
But you
'Cause I
said you
already had
triggered
one.
it. You triggered it before, right?
I had one manually done that
So
I
when you,
did.
and how many activities were in that? So it would depend on the activity. So if you have you can start
It
a.
has 8. It has
Yeah,
8,
did they
8
complete?
touches.
Did they
No,
complete? They haven't complete. So they would get the tail end of whatever's left of the first one, and then the one that you put them on again. Is it the same action plan?
yes, but see, what I was doing was I was going in and updating their status so that it would
Mhm.
automatically trigger. So I
For
should
the
probably
future?
wait on those people to update their status till their campaigns run, right?
That would be best. That way that
Okay,
they don't get extra.
doubled.
Yeah. And then I
Okay,
also learned something with action plans. So let's say you have an action plan of 20 activities and you start it, let's just say today, and it takes 6 months for it to complete. And you go and change something on that action plan. I'm being told that as long as there's 24 hours in advance that you made that change, that it will then send that communication out.
but that's on the one going forward, not, I mean, it's already out. What's
Right.
already out is out. It's only going forward.
Right. This is so what I'm saying. Yeah, new issue. It's just so like let's say you had a long action plan and at the end you wanted to change something, you could change it as long as there's 24 hours in time before that activity is going to be sent. So it looks like you can change mid action plan something as long as you have 24 hours before the next activity goes off. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
yeah, so that'll at least allow you guys to change stuff and not have to, you know, do too much to maneuver around. So um some things that I just wanted to clarify and show everybody, right? Were this might be a little bit redundant, but I've seen people get a little bit confused as to where are the stuff that we do that we put in like templates and things like that, and then they mix up the action plan library as well. So 2 different places. The manage templates, you can find it in your settings, and then you can find it here. This takes you to where we have all of our categories 1 through 10, and we're about to change these up into some other categories. Let me see if I have them here. Let me see. Nope, not this one. So we're gonna group these categories more into the groups that you guys fall into, which is more network group. What is the other?
Business solutions.
Business solutions. These are going to change. They're going to kind of condense into less, but then all of these things will be reorganized into those. So if you're more of a network person, you could go to network and then find stuff network related, things like that. So these are all just one-off little creations that we have done. And this is the library in which you can access these and import them to your own library if you create folders. And then you can use these as one-off emails, and you can use them to also build your own style of action plan, right? So this is the template library, and there's another place you can find this, and it's when you send somebody an email. When you send them an email, and let's say we just go click somebody's email, and we go ahead and hit this. Let me let Deborah in. When you hit this expanded view window, it also gives you access to go manage your templates as well. So there's two places where you can get to manage your templates. Another thing, when you're managing your templates and you do an email, you're not going to see any of the text options. It's strictly email. When you select the phone number, it will also take you to the templates as well, but you're only going to see the text message templates available. You're not going to see everything. Just in case, if you're looking for it, you just gotta, I guess, remember whether if you're doing a text message or not. But once again, you can get to the template through just writing an email or sending a text message.
Something I noticed today, Jeremy, when I was sending out templates to my groups, a little red banner came up on the top of the screen that says this number is a landline and you cannot send SMSs to it. And I had never seen that before, but you know.
I have to say that that's new.
Okay.
And that's actually a really good feature. And I think that might help you guys with what you guys do, because you guys get phone numbers and sometimes you don't know where the phone numbers come from. In my experience, we had a paid service with another business industry that I was working in, and we could put in phone numbers, but it was more for fraud. So, and that's a paid service that the company paid a lot of money for. So I didn't know any other way unless there's a free service out there that'll give you, whether if it's a landline, that kind of thing. But that means you have to go in, check the number, kind of tedious. So now what I would assume this would do is just recognize that, exclude it from what you're sending. Who knows, that at that point in time, you can make a note and then either send them an email requesting a cell phone number for them. You know, that's something that I thank you for bringing it up. I'm going to have to play around with that. I'd like to see that myself.
Well, and I got it this morning when I was just entering some basic information on somebody I'm trying to contact. I didn't have their email.
Okay.
And it brought up a red thing at the top that said, you know, you're not gonna be able to email them because there's nothing there. And then it also alluded to the phone number. It wouldn't be a text because it's a landline. So I had both.
Good. I'm glad that
Yeah,
that's
so that was cool. That's new.
I'm glad that that's rolling out and that they were able to and I know they're in the midst of doing a release right now. So I am patiently waiting to get into that meeting to kind of see what they've rolled out and what they have in store for us. So that's good that's actually really good. I think that'll help you guys a lot in what you guys need to do when, you know, if you guys are using this for marketing or if you're using it for just staying on top of your customers or for the retention plans, that kind of thing. That's going to help you guys a lot. And so at the topic at hand, so this is, I think everybody's kind of clear what these are good for. Now, you can always send us an email to support or to myself. Let me know, send us material in which you guys would like to put in here so that it can be used. I remember that one blog had a bunch of different stuff. So I have done webinars on how to create them, like how to create your own little things. If we want to do another one, we can set up another one for a later date so that we can revisit that, so that the more you guys can create something on the fly, something that was sent to you in an email, and then get it into a template and email it to everybody, should help you get your job done. So under engagement in the action plans is the other library. And it is this import button. And here are some of the categories that we have that you guys can use. So what you would do is you would open it up, review it. Hello? Did somebody ask it? No worries. Thought it was a question. So you would review it and then you would import it, and then it's going to take it to your list. And then here you can manipulate it, like if you wanted to change something, if you wanted to add an additional step, this is what you could do from here as well. Would just like to mention, it's always good to go through these, especially if they're ones that we've made, and just make sure that if there's anything to edit, anything to add, like your information, that you do so. So just in case, like if somebody helped us with an email or with an action plan and we send it out to everybody, it might have that person's information. So you just want to quickly review everything, make sure it's pointing to you, and edit anything. If you have any trouble with editing anything, you can either contact us through the chat. So with this little chat button, it'll take you to myself or Daisy, in which we can help you with whatever issue you're having at the moment. Remember, you also can take screenshots and then pass them over. If you have something that you've never seen and you're not curious, or you're curious to know what it is, you can send us a screenshot with it. And so these are the two libraries that we have. There is no other way to get to this library, the action plan library, unless you go through this engagement action plan import. And so just wanted you guys to know that. Let's see, does anybody have any questions so far?
I have a question on text messages.
Tell me.
If I send a text message out through Fieldnotes,
Hmm.
excuse me, and you respond,
Yes.
it shows up on my phone in Messenger. If I
Shows-
reply, it
It
shows
shows
up
up
on,
and you get a
on my-
text message.
yep,
Okay.
on my phone. If I respond to that text message through Messenger on my phone, will you receive it?
Will we receive it?
Well, let's say through Fieldnotes, I sent you a text message,
Hmm.
right? And you responded to it. And it shows up on my phone as a text message. Your response shows up on my phone as a text message.
Correct. So we send you guys the message, the person who it was from.
Right.
Now, if they call it, it would get routed to you, and you would pick it up, and you
Right.
could answer it and speak to the person.
Okay, but if I respond to the text message that you sent me,
I don't think
Through-
it. I don't
through
think it goes to
Messenger.
the.
okay,
I don't think it goes to the client. Yeah. So
right,
you would have to. So that is to. We give you, I think, the name and the message so that you can then find the client, and then
Right.
either follow up with a reply through there, or know who it is, get the person's number, like if you had the contact, and then you could call them, right?
right.
But
Well,
yeah, so it
Within
does.
that
I'm
text-
assuming that if I get it on my phone, then chances are I'm not sitting at my desktop. I'm out
Correct.
and about, and then that process is a little clumsier. Looking it up, through the app and going, that route. But anyway, it's more important right now for me to know that if I did respond through my messenger, that they're not
doesn't-
going to receive it. So,
Yes.
From what I understand, George, the text, because I've gotten it, the text message is from Sparky. So
Right.
Sparky's telling me that I got a text message from Jeremy. So you're right, I can't hit reply because it's from
It goes.
Sparky.
Yeah, it goes right back to Sparky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
would I be able to tell Sparky to reply to you?
You're welcome to try that. I don't think that he might pick up on the command and send it out, but that's something that I would have to play around with.
Okay,
But yeah, so that's true. Kathy has a point. It comes from Sparky. So Sparky is just basically giving you the name and the number and the message of the person, and then you are to go into the field notes and then either send them an email or do it independently, right?
yep, good point.
But I definitely hear you on a little bit of the clumsiness of it. Maybe there might be something we can do to make it a little bit more streamlined, or add that feature in which you can text the people back through. But I'd like to see how that that would play out. I don't think it's something a quick fix, but something to think about.
Yep.
Definitely.
So can I just ask for a clarification? Because I noticed I'm getting ready to send out, Cassie and I are getting ready to send out a lot of SMS messages.
Okay.
And when I look at it, at the top of the message, it has my Fieldnotes phone number that
Mhm.
created. So we're going to send out this SMS. People are maybe will respond with a question or something like that. So basically they're responding to Sparky. Sparky is going to then turn around and contact us and say, you had a text message from Jeremy. Okay, so we just need to know, okay, just trying to find that individual person. And if it's an employee that we don't have in our database because maybe they don't have the service and we're just sending out all these notifications to share with all the employees, I'll never really know.
In order
What
for you to send to that person, you have to have a contact in the CRM.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you'll
I see what you mean.
you'll be able to know because of that, like you'll be able to backtrack it, find the person.
Well, and you also can see it on your home screen when you're on the dashboard.
Dashboard as
Like-
well is going to give you your
Yeah, you can go in and see where the text messages that you sent and they replied. Like I know what she's probably sending, Allison, because we do that in the campaign. And
Right,
it's like, I sent you an email to this email address to activate your service. Please let me know if the email is wrong. Sometimes I get a reply back that goes, thumbs up, it's great. And I can see it right there, no problem. Or they'll say, thanks, just like you're seeing there.
Mhm.
So you'll
Oh,
know who it is and you can click on them and get to the contact.
You can.
will this automatically pop up when, will I be notified that I have SMS responses, or do I have to always check that to see if I've got responses?
You're going to get them in a form of a text message, so you'll know that way. That'll be one.
Okay,
There'll
so I
also
need,
be there'll
Okay.
also be this in the dashboard. If you visit this, if you go to show all, it'll take you to, I don't have, I think these are from maybe last week or I think in the last 3 months. And so you can basically search the timeline, if it was a received or sent or opened, and you can go by email or text message. And then that way you can kind of stay on top of the conversation.
and that's going to give you okay, so that will give you everybody that you've sent an SMS out, a text message out to. Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I haven't seen this part of it, so this is good stuff.
Absolutely. You want to stay on top of those responses. And also, if you're building action plans to do some type of outreach for you, and you have it set to pause the second they reply back so that you can kind of step in and play and try to give the answer, right? It'll look organic and people are going to not really notice that all that communication you've made wasn't really you. And so if you can stay on top of your responses, well, then you should be able to, like if you're doing pre-cancels or if you're trying to reach out to the HR, sorry about that, you'll be able to hopefully make those meetings happen and get into those businesses and offer them your services. So Let's see here. Also, tasks. We know I've had a couple of people ask me about where's the best place to look at my to-dos. You can see it in the dashboard. This will give you like a 30-day of your upcoming appointments, and I think it's 7 to 15 days on to-dos. But if it's not here, right, you can go to the tasks, or you can go to show all. If you're getting emails, daily task reminders, and you don't want to receive those, in settings under your profile, you can select that. Here, you can also go to your overdue tasks if you had any. And if you keep on getting emails of just past over to do, you need to come here, search. You can go overdue task as well. And you'll see all these overdue tasks. This is what's causing you to get those emails. And so all you have to do is just go into them and check them out so that they no longer show up. And then that way I'll show you also where you would, this is where you would subscribe to that, is this little checkbox, is past daily reminders. So if it doesn't help you and it's an annoying email, just check this and save and you should be good. If it's helpful and you do need it, just make sure this box checked. You can check your things in the dashboard, or you can see your things in the tasks. And this is a 7-day view, Sunday to Saturday. Has anybody had any issues with this? Does anybody find it helpful?
What was the red banner that came up? I couldn't read that at the bottom. That looks like another new feature.
No, that was
see-
like a failed, something failed.
Oh, okay.
I just discovered, Jeremy, this the other day with the calendar view.
Mhm.
I was going through and I went, oh, so I didn't
Yeah.
even realize.
You guys can prioritize your to-dos by just switching the high, medium, and low. If you had the need to kind of categorize them, you could do that. But this is where you'll see the to-dos. This is where you'll have all your appointments show up. And then this is going to be your all-day reminders. And then you can also go into the future and see your reminders. Also, I think you can click this and it gives you, it'll open up a date. I don't know why that is.
Does it go in reverse? Does it sync up with like Google or calendar?
It doesn't, it won't. So you've got to sync your calendar first. And then from that moment on, all the appointments that you're making are going to show up in your Google. Now, I had somebody mention to me, it wasn't an LSA agent, it was real estate. They said, everything I put in my Google, does it show up in the field notes? And that's not the case. So you would have to either use Sparky for that. And then, say, hey, Sparky, set up an appointment for John Smith, 4 o'clock on a Friday. That's how you would have it. So you would use Sparky or speech to text, and then send that to Sparky, and Sparky would set up an appointment, and then you would see it on both devices. All right. So let's see here.
Does it just sync to your Google, or can you use Outlook?
You've got the choice of Google or Outlook.
Okay.
So
And
you
as long as it's in your setup, right, where it's syncing to Google, it'll work, right?
say that again.
So in your settings, like under my, I don't know if that's my profile or my settings, as long as I'm synced up to Google. Right
So
there,
here is-
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So as long as you're set up here. Now I've had people say, well, they're not syncing. So if it was me and I had to help one of you, we would run a quick little test, grab a test account, start to set up appointments. If you're not seeing them syncing, I would just stop this and then restart it. That's essentially what I would do. And then I would do some more tests, set up some appointments. And if it's not immediately happening, well, then we have an issue. But in the cases that I've supported people, they were able to make appointments to show up into their Google or into their Outlook simply by just disconnecting and then reconnecting. Everybody knows and has a smart number, because this is where you would get your smart number. We have one already, so I don't want to go ahead and disconnect it, but there's a button for you to click. It opens up whether if you're in Canada or if you're in the United States. You can put in a Canadian area code, and then it will give you numbers in your area. You can select, and then you'll be able to send out of you'll be able to send text messages out of the CRM. So if anybody didn't know
Thank
that,
you.
that was for you, Denise.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So any questions that you guys might have? We're kind of coming to the end. Maybe I'll spend a little time, give it some open book.
Well, it's staying on the theme of text messaging, several weeks, maybe it's a month or more at
Mhm.
this point, we had asked about in text messaging, is there going to be an option to do emojis like an email and also be able to paste a graphics?
They
Like
are looking
you
to,
normally-
yeah, like, I mean, you can send gifts to people now.
Yeah,
So like it's that multimedia. I think that things are changing with the service, right? And so they are looking to upgrade it to where they can do that and send emojis and basically do what we can do on our phones, right?
right.
And so that I know of is in the roadmap and should be. I don't have an idea as an ETA exactly of when that's coming, but I have heard that in the works. And so that's something that you guys can keep an eye out for. Also, if anybody's ever thought about connecting a service such through Zapier so that your leads come in automatically, that's something that you can think about. It's in integrations. So like if you created a jot form or some type of landing page, you could also use the form that you're able to create for the website to create a simple landing page and use that context if you've got a website, which those contacts would come into the CRM automatically from their request, and then you could begin to manage them as well. So those are just some things later on the line. If you have some stuff like that, there can be some integrations so that leads don't have to be coming in physically through you. You can, and so that's always a discussion. If you always want to ask me, show me what you got in the sense of services and how we can tie them into the CRM to make things just a little bit more automatic. That's something that we have as an option. Let's see what else. I think we've gone heavy over in the context what we should do in the beginning and kind of create a plan, kind of how we want to organize, because that's going to help us with doing action plans and kind of communicating to our groups. And so if you guys have had any struggles with that, have you guys had any struggles with that, with organizing your contacts and kind of coming up with a game plan?
Can I ask one question, Jeremy, on that? Again, I'm sending out some information to all of the HR people. And so I'm sending them a email that we created, and I want to make sure that I've got their first name. Hello, first name. Tell me again the different places that can go when you're adding them as a contact. They might not be a member, but they are the contact for my particular group.
So the group, if this is like set up for a group contact, the group contact would go here. In
The
some
company
cases,
name would go there.
right, the company name.
Okay.
So if it's like a school district, if it's the ABC flooring, something like that, the good thing is, or the good place to put that is there. You could also put that here as well, but that's just additional, just because it has the place for it. Now, in the last name, you could put just the first name to the individual or the full name. And then in the salutation, you can put just the first name of that person. And then you could use the salutation smart tag so that if let's say you had an action plan or an email that was just for those people, you could in the email have the smart tag hello salutation so that it says
Oh,
hello the first person's name and not hello ABC flooring, right?
gotcha. So I would have to change that in the email itself, if that's how I've got all my HR people set up.
If that's how your groups are set up. So here you could also have the full name of the individual with that person's title. But here, and that can be redundant, whether if you want to have it in the last name or not, right? Whether if you want it here or there, it could be redundant for you, but you could also put the first name here and do the smart tag last name. However, you just would have to be in the know, right? Because, and then your contacts would have to be set up like that throughout all your contacts, so that, you know, if you had last name here and you had another, let's say the full person's name, and then it's going to show hello the whole person's name kind of thing. So it would just be a matter of making planning it out and then just knowing how you have it set up and then using it that way with the salutation.
Okay, Kathy, where do you put your HR or your contact people's first name? Which area do you?
Sorry,
Put
I was
that-
on mute. I put their first name in the first name. And
Okay.
then their last name is the company name to me. And I
Okay.
still have the company listed over under company, but over under group primary contact there in the middle, I would put, Jeremy Leon, HR director. I'd put his whole name over there with his title. That's how I do it. And then how I sort them is that new field that we updated under, was it under category where we went down? Yes.
The
We
follow-up
updated
frequency
it
or-
to be sales cycle, and it was a prospect or active group, right? We updated those fields so that we could narrow it down to say, I want only my active groups. And then we added effective date, I mean, we just narrowed it down even more to be able to pick out who we wanted. And Cassie and I worked with Jeremy on that last week, so.
Now, these are the categories to just make automation for action plans and just keeping things in order so that you can send specific people specific types of communication. And then
Yeah,
and if you don't do this, you just basically have everybody in a big old group. And then you kind of have to go through your contacts. So if you think this out well, when it comes to filtering, when it comes to viewing, when it comes to digging deep, trying to find a needle in a haystack, it's not going to be that difficult, right? And so that's why I'm heavy on doing that. If you haven't done it, one of you LSAs told me she didn't have time not to do this. So it's actually an important step to invest the time, get it done, because it's going to lay a foundation for the rest of your life, and it'll make a lot things easier having order with that and having all your little buckets for everybody, because everybody can only be in one bucket at a time. So this is a perfect place for you to organize that. Now, the top option, the follow-up frequency that it's named here, is also the relationship status. It has the same kind of name and it's tied into touch points. So if you build in this field, you can tie it into touch points, which will also set up frequencies so that you can follow up with people. You can give them phone calls and have that kind of outreach if you wish, right? You can also put zeros in those fields and the system will ignore those touch points. And so that's also the good thing about that. Also, if you had no need for touch points, you could just simply build it into the large contact group and have all of your different categories. Also, setting it up with 0, 1, 0, 2 will group them. And if you use, let's say 0, 1, and you put group in front of it, and anything that has to do with groups will stay in order with the group. If you had anything to do with members or networking or small business, you could put that next and it will group everything in the small business, just making it easier for you when you open this up. It just doesn't look like a box of cookies where they're all over the place. Everything is kind of in order, and you can either kind of follow the flow or just basically have everything in order to make it easier for you guys in the eyes. And so
And Allison, we renamed that category to status.
status and sales cycle is what you
And
guys.
the first one is sales cycle.
Oh,
So
so the
that's-
follow-up frequency is sales cycle, and then the
Mhm.
large group is
Status.
status.
Status. Yeah.
That's how they decided it. I think Cassie mentioned that's kind of just how her brain works. And
When
so
it makes sense, because that's really how we go through the process. If it's a prospect, we're going to drip on them. There's a campaign out there. Then if they get into the proposals portion or become an active group, then you know, it's
you hit
just
them
like
with the
how our,
retention.
yeah, we could keep moving that status, and that will change what we communicate to them or how we sort them.
That is correct. So if you guys have this type of sales flow, that's where I highly suggest you guys to put it. And for everybody, it's a little bit different. Everybody mind works, and everybody works in different stages and cycles. And so that's where I would spend a little bit of time figuring out the groups that you have, and then build on it, and then start adding all your contacts, start categorizing everybody. Now, if you're in a position in which you have just a disorder, I would stop, think about what you're doing, reorganize, enter them, and then search, filter the old ones, and then just do mass edits and slowly move people over from old stuff, get them into the new stuff, and then you can start cleaning house, remove old categories that have nothing to do, and know that you have everybody now on the new, and then delete all the old, and then see how that works, and see if you guys can test it out. Obviously, if you need to tweak something, this is easy to manipulate and to tweak. And if you have any questions, obviously you know where to find us so that we can guys help you.
And that's what I'm going through right now, is tweaking all these contacts, like prospects.
Yeah.
I had them categorized as a hot DM, right?
hmm
And so I'm moving them to this sales cycle and status categories so that I can get rid of that, and it'll work better.
Exactly. And that also ties into the dashboard, gives you insight with that little pie wheel. So you know that you've got a lot of prospects. If you've got a lot of, proposals, it could tell you, hey, I need to focus on this, get these down, and that kind of stuff, and hopefully just get you on top of the work that needs to be done.
And then
all right.
like you said, Jeremy, we can set up triggered action plans against those different, statuses, because
Once you start getting the flow of it and start adding, start categorizing people and then doing your job and moving people through the statuses, you'll start to see, well, now I have to send them this, now I have to send them that. Why not build that all into an action plan? And as you're doing it and you move him into a different status, now you'll know within a day or two, if that's how you set it up, they're going to begin to get the drip campaign. So hopefully it saves you having to send all that stuff manually. You can essentially just do your job, and as you're moving people, the system's sending out the appropriate communications and all that kind of stuff, and just make your job easier. So, well, everybody, we are towards the end. If you have any other questions, I'd love to answer them. If not, I wish you guys a beautiful Thursday.
I have a question, Jeremy. Thank you.
Tell me, Roslyn.
Thank you.
Thank you for going over.
Thanks.
Hear me?
I can hear you a little reverb on it, but I don't know. I think I see you in 2 accounts.
Oh, I lost. This is not working.
I can mute one of them. So
Okay.
I muted one.
Okay, great. Nope. I lost.
Well, here, there we go.
Can you?
I am going to, let me see. Let me try to close you or,
My internet went down.
so I put one in a room. Tell me.
My internet went down, so I had to log back in. So the other one somehow, I guess, is still open somehow. First of all, thank you for going over the tasks to get rid of old to-do things. Appreciate that. And I wanted to thank Allison and Cassie and Kathy for, all what they've done and getting information in here. But my question is there something already in the system to, rather than me inventing something for getting HR director, sending them something for the SHRM certification that the law firm is doing? Is there something already in the system for that?
No, you know what? I actually created a template in my own, library. And every month when we change it, I just go in and send them that. It's like a template. So once we announce the next webinar and it's got the details and the registration, I go create a template with it. And then I can just send it to whomever. So I could ask Daisy or Jeremy to post one of them out there so you can see what they're doing.
Oh, that would be great, Cassie. I'm just really getting started with this. And so I obviously, since that's next week, I'm trying to get that done today.
Okay, well, you know what? I will, Jeremy, can you post that for me?
I definitely can.
Okay, I'll have Jeremy pull it or send it to him or whatever. We'll work on it and I'll get that out there. Because I think you check it, Jeremy, but doesn't have my information. It just says at, I knew who you were referring to, at owner signature
Yep.
at the bottom. So it's generic for all of us.
Yep. If you, do you think everybody might have a need for that or just Roslyn?
Well, yeah, no, they could, because anybody in business solutions that talks to business owners or decision makers definitely could send this out.
And in one of
We could post it in the
the template library.
template
in which
library.
In which one of the small business?
Well, no,
No.
it's really, let's see, where are you?
I don't think there's really a category.
If you were going to call it anything,
Mhm.
because it's going to change every month. It's not something that's
But
static.
does it fall into one of those categories? That way I can put it into one of these. That's why I thought of small business, since you mentioned small business. We have this to where we're gonna update this to different categories so that I
Right,
think this would then fit into that kind of category. But
high end, it would be business solutions. Second folder would be,
What about opportunity?
well, it's really in a separate category because you're talking about, it's two things. It's a webinar to educate, but if they're a SHRM member, a Society for Human Resource Manager, they get recertification credit.
Mhm.
which
So
is
it's,
always good.
they don't have to be a SHRM member, but it's an advantage if they are.
Yeah, I see.
So
Correct.
it's really more,
I guess there's nothing in the opportunity. I can just place it there for the
Could we
moment.
just do education/training and under opportunity and house it there, Kathy?
How
yeah, as
about
long as
support?
we're calling it, we've got to call it what it is so that people in network aren't sending it
Mhm.
out. It's not a,
Right.
so,
Go ahead, Keith.
yeah.
How about support services, Kathy? We're offering a support service to
SHRM.
HR people.
It's HR and business owners.
Right.
Mhm.
But still be a support service.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an education service more than anything. Because we're educating only. no selling, nothing. So,
How'd you
but I'll
make
give it to you. I'll get it somehow. Jeremy, you can get in. We can talk about it real quick. You
Sure,
can pull it down. It's ready to go because I've sent it out
Perfect.
twice now.
I'll go ahead and get it into the library so that Jocelyn can. get
Yeah, and
that done.
anybody could pull it down. And then as soon as I know the one for, what am I in August? As soon as I know the one for September, I'll create that one and we can pull it down too.
Okay,
It's just I have to wait for the person, whoever's doing that. It's either Cheryl, Cassie, or I, one of us, whoever's doing September makes the invite. And once it's done, then I'll create the template.
perfect.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Kathy.
Yeah, sure.
Indeed. All righty, everybody. It was a pleasure speaking to you guys. I definitely
Thanks,
thank you for
Jeremy.
the time, and I'll get that over to you. And if you want to, I'll call you, I guess, in a second, Kathy, and we can discuss that.
Okay,
All righty.
sounds good.
All righty. Ciao, everybody. Pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.